Okay, so there were a lot of new number ones that came out this week, and I got about, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them. First off, I got Clarion by Ann Nasanti, Trevor McCarthy doing art. Anybody that's watched anything I've done, you know I love Trevor McCarthy. I love the way that he lays pages out in a really confusing fashion, the way he panels things, but they just flow so well. He's probably one of my top 3 artists out there right now. I really like Cliff Chang. But this book, all in all, was not very good. It wasn't horrible, but I wonder if Ann Nasanti gets grouped up with artists that are really good to kind of disguise the fact, artist and colorist, because the coloring in this was great, artist and colorist that just make me continue reading this book, because when I read this, it reminds me a lot of, you know, kind of when Ann Nasanti and Todd McFarlane were doing Spider-Man back in the day. And, you know, the story was just kind of well, the story was good, but it was just totally made better by the fact that she had a good artist. And I thought with Catwoman that the art and the coloring on Catwoman were just awesome. And the inkings were awesome. And I mean, this is kind of the same way. If not for the fact that Trevor McCarthy was the one that was doing the art on this, I would drop this title tomorrow. But I gotta support my dude, and so I guess I'll keep reading that. Hands down, the best thing that I read out of these books was October Faction. I wish you could see that cover better. It's awful dark. This book, story by Steve Niles, who I absolutely love since the first time that I read 30 Days a Night. I'm not sure who the artist is on this. Oh, okay. So the story is the creators of this are Steve Niles and Damian Worm, and then Damian Worm does the illustration. A lot of these number ones this week had really good lettering. Robbie Robbins that did the lettering in this. The lettering in this is just so freaking clean. You can almost read it there, right? But really good. This story was. Go buy this book. If you didn't buy this book, go to your comic shop tomorrow and buy this book. It was so good. I don't know how many issues it's going to be. Niles doesn't tend to do anything that's above about 4 or 6 issues for whatever reason. But that was just, God, that was good. I read Witches, which was okay. The art in it was amazing. I mean, I knew it would be. I like Jock's art. It didn't really have the horror that I was expecting. I mean, it's about what I've come to expect from Scott Snyder and American Vampire. I mean, it had its moments. You know, a deer vomiting up this frickin' crazy toad thing, or frickin' thing that he vomits out, his tongue or whatever, is frickin' crazy. But, all in all, you know, it was alright. I was kind of offended in the back of this, because, I'm a long-time Wiccan, and part of the stuff that is said in the letters pages by Scott Snyder kind of offended me. But, you know, the man writes good books, and so if he wants to go out and beat up Wiccans, well, I mean, I guess that's his prerogative. I don't know. Like I say, it kind of offended me, but I mean, maybe I'm just a sensitive guy. I also read Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or I guess it's just Sabrina. I don't have a hard copy of that right now because I loaned it out to a friend of mine that reads Afterlife with Archie, and she wanted to read it, so I loaned it out to her. But that book was really good. I went into it thinking it was going to be like the Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV show, and it really wasn't. This episode brought to you by Captain Jack's Rum and Cool Water. But it was really good. I thought that it was better than Witches as far as the dark aspect of witchcraft. It was kind of spooky. It wasn't, the laugh track witchcraft that was on the Sabrina show. It was, witchcraft. But yet these characters still doing the same thing that they were doing, everyday lives type thing. It was really good. I mean, if I had to rate it on these three books, which were all kind of the same book, I would give Witches like maybe a 6.5. I would give Sabrina maybe an 8. And I would give Oktoberfection, hands down, a 9.5. Only because I don't see that anything can be perfect. There had to be something about this that I didn't see that wasn't perfect. But damn, that was a good book. And I read Birthright #1. Story of a kid that gets abducted. Everybody thinks his dad killed him. And then a year to the day later, he shows up as this badass freaking dragon slaying, demon slaying Lord of the Rings guy. He's apparently spent a year there, and you age faster, and a year there has been like 25 years or something. And there's some really, really good stuff in this. I mean, you've got fairies. The artwork in this is amazing. I got it because I like Joshua Williamson that does Nailbiter. But this Andre Bresson that did the artist and is also a co-creator. Andrea Lucas that did the coloring. The coloring on this is amazing. And I know it's a week of talking about letterers, but this past Pat Briscoe that did the lettering in this, once again, I mean, almost so clear that you can read it, right? I mean, it's just crisp. But, this was a pretty good book. It's definitely something I'm going to keep reading because I think the story is going to evolve and be great. But, anyway, like I said, everybody should go out and buy Oktoberfection. That freaking book is great. Anybody that hadn't made an entry on my contest yet, get out there and make that entry. I'd love to hear your answers to those questions. If you like this, go ahead and subscribe, or like, or do what you do. And, I'm going to get off here and read some more comics, I guess.